Good morning, Kenyan Gen Zs, wherever you're watching me around the world. So today is Tuesday, and it's a good day. So today I want to talk to the Kenyan Gen Zs. These are young men and women below 30. And I want to tell you something. I want to tell you that agriculture will save Kenyan Gen Zs, according to the title of this video. So I want to show you something. So you can see, look at this. Look at the maize. We planted this maize in May of this year. It has been like 3 months. You can see the way it is. So that's what I'm saying. Agriculture will save the Kenyan Gen Zs. Agriculture will save the Kenyan Gen Zs. You see the maize, have a maize cob here. You understand? So this is just a small farm. It can measure this is like a quarter, isn't it? This is like a quarter. I don't know, this is like a quarter or even an eighth. I don't know the measurements. So this is the size. Let me show you as we walk through. So that's what I'm saying. Maize, agriculture will save the Kenyan Gen Zs. Agriculture will save the Kenyan Gen Zs. So you can see, I'm in the maize plantation. So I'm imagining if someone had told me this thing like over 20 years ago when I started working, I would have saved money. They always tell you to have saved money in a circle. Then afterwards, bought a piece of land and started agriculture. Look at this. This is just a quart, and it's giving me maize. It can give even maybe 5 bags. So imagine if you have 1 acre, it can give you over 20 bags. Each one going, I don't know, these days they go for 5,000. That's 100,000. And in 1 year you can farm like even 3 times. That's 300,000. So if you're saving even 200,000 over 10 years, 5 million, you already now become a landowner. You are investing. You are maybe buying what? You are even buying, in fact, better still, you can even now move on to other produce. Like, for example, chicken farming, poultry is very lucrative. You do egg, you buy chicken layers. Then, once you have bought the chicken layers, they give you a lot of eggs. You start selling. So, basically, you are doing agriculture. You are doing maize farming. You are doing chicken farming. You can even add goat farming. So, imagine if someone had told me this thing like when I was much younger, when we started working on those money, instead of wasting your money on women and alcohol. That's why Kenyan Gen Zs, they have done well with the demonstration, but they didn't mentoring. This is what we are lacking in our universities. Telling a one man, when you finish school, the first salary, the first thing is to first of all live on your own, get your own space. Then 2, whatever you get, save, then own a piece of land. Even in your country, it can even be better. Start poultry farming, start maize farming. In fact, start with maize farming, then do things like vegetable farming, move on to poultry farming, and then move on to goat farming. Yes. And these days, if you are a young man, you're on social media running a lot of money. Yeah, these days, young people are running a lot of money on social media. Why don't you save that money and invest in agriculture? Buy yourself a ranch, do poultry farming, then after that, sell the cows. Like there's a cow, a bull that goes for 200,000 Kenya shillings. Imagine you have 100 of those. That's 20 million per year. Or in 2 years, you have over 20 million. One cow is going for, or a bull is going for 200,000, and then you have 100 of them. That's over 20 million. Now, what's happened to young men these days? They get money. Yes, they start living on their own. Then they buy a car, most likely a Subaru. They spend all their weekends drinking with women. These young ladies are just there because you are easy prey. The men of value marry good women. However, ask yourself, where are those girls who are so good in you, who are so well mannered when you are in campus or college? You could not even take them for coffee. They never wanted anything with men. They were just in books. They got married to men of substance, men even who are now in their 50s and 60s. A man who is 50 now will easily marry a girl who is 25. But a man who is 25, who will he marry? He will get people eating his money in bars every weekend. Imagine. I did a research. You find a young man every weekend spends over 10,000 in a bar. I don't know these lounges, isn't it? In a month, that is 40,000, isn't it? So if you are to multiply that in a whole year, that's you're talking over nearly 500,000 Kenya shillings. This can buy you land somewhere in your country, even an acre. Then the next year, you start now agriculture. You can be working on your job, but you have someone on the farm who's looking after your maize, poultry farming, goat farming, vegetables, because this is what can save Kenyans. I'll, I'll be very happy if the government decided to invest in agriculture and started, first of all, rainwater harvesting. There's enough water that it can go around the country so that our arid and semi-arid areas have water supply 24/7. Once that is done, they move on to, once that is done, they start doing large-scale agriculture so that young men, Kenyan Gen Zs who cannot work on the farm, can be in the factories, value addition factories for the agricultural produce. Then afterwards, when you start exporting this food, we can have our young men and women who are in the marketing departments, even in foreign countries, or even here in towns. They do the packaging, they do the courier service. Someone wants, let's say, pork meat, for example. It's packaged. There's the scooter driver, border, or courier service. So the border delivering. You understand? That's why I'm talking about agriculture will save the Kenyan Gen Zs. Nothing will save you. There are no jobs. That one can take for granted. There are no jobs. Office jobs are dead. Jobs that are there, this. I've shown you agriculture. Look at this. Maize. You see those people who wanachoma mahindi. One of this is 30 bob. So here you can have even how many? You can have even how many maize cobs? I don't know. Let me an estimate of how many maize cobs can be here. 500. And one goes for 30 bob. Isn't it? That's over 15,000. That's already just from the maize cob. That's money in your pocket. So imagine if you have a bigger land, an acre. You are getting, in fact, now this is just I was talking about roasting meat. But now, once the maize is collected and dried, and then put in bags, that's a lot of money, isn't it? And then value addition. That's what we are missing in Kenya. People can think. If I was the president, God has given us land, has given us rain. What we need is to ensure that there is enough agriculture. Just a moment. As I was saying, agriculture will save the Kenyan Gen Zs. They have been telling you about. It will save the Kenyan Gen Zs. As you can see here, we have this is sukuma wiki planted. We have seen maize this side. Then we have sukuma wiki going down there. You have sukuma wiki down. So imagine if you're a young man and you have 1 acre, you can do a lot. You can plant maize. You can plant vegetables like I'm seeing this sukuma wiki here. You can plant the traditional vegetables we talk about. All those you can plant them. You can do poultry farming. You can do goat keeping. You can do a lot on that small farm that's just 1 acre. You can do a lot of things. That's what I'm saying. Agriculture will save the Kenyan Gen Zs. So they were saying if the president would convert the whole country into one big shamba. One big shamba there I'm showing you. You see here, we have the maize. There's the maize there. There's the vegetable sukuma wiki. Then also sugar. I don't know. You have this. Kenya, and we have this, Africa, especially Kenya, have these organic vegetables that are grown and very nutritious, healthy. They can be packaged and exported. So in every phase, from the farm to the transport to the value addition to the exportation, young people get jobs. Convert Kenya into one big shamba and employ all these young men and women, do rainwater harvesting so that the arid and semi-arid areas can be agricultural areas so that people move from Nairobi, decongest Nairobi. That's one way of decongesting. And as that is happening, ensure that the rail network now expands from Nairobi, goes to those areas, Turkana, where, Marsabit. Then also the superhighway, there should be a superhighway of 6 lanes, 3 going to Kampala, 3 coming from Kampala. A rail network that comes from Mombasa through Nairobi, through Kampala, through Kigali, all the way going around to Dar es Salaam. That's how we will be able to give jobs to the young men and women, Kenyan Gen Zs, within 5 years. That's why I always say, give me to be an advisor of these big people, and in 5 years, Kenya will be a middle-income country. So this is Professor Maima Show. If you like what I've said on this channel, please send something on the mobile M-Pesa down there, +254 769 729 327. I'll repeat again, mobile M-Pesa, +254 769 729 327. And as I always say, Gwaheri ya kuonana, Gwaheri.